Hi, welcome to Hometown Realty's class on referrals, relocation, and warranties. I'm Lucy Brightwell, and I'm the Relocation Director at Hometown Realty, and I'm also Dean Cheatham's assistant. I have been with Hometown for almost 16 years, but I've been doing the Relocation Director job for, it will be 2 years next week. So, been around for a long time. Relocation is easy money. What you need to do is train your center of influence to come to you for any of their relocation needs. It doesn't matter if it's in your service area, in the Richmond metro area where you are able to help them yourselves, or any place in the United States. If anybody that you know wants to buy a second home in the mountains, at the lake, at the ocean, or if they need to move for a job, you need to train them to come to you, and you can help them find a good realtor in whatever area they need service in, whether they need to sell a home or buy a home. And what you do then is you just contact me and give me as much information as you know about the person that's needing services in another area, and I will find somebody that has a good track record and does a lot of business in that area. We will ask them for a 25% referral fee, and I'll get them to sign a form agreeing to that effect. And then when the deal closes, you get a check at your normal hometown split. So it's easy money. It's just really collecting some information and just educating your center of influence so that they know to come to you for any of those kinds of needs. And then the other thing that you also want to counsel them on so that they feel like you're sort of involved in the process is you want to tell them if the realtor that we find for them in that service area doesn't really work with their personality, or they're not happy with them for any reason, get them to come back to you and tell you that. You ask them for some feedback, maybe give them a follow-up call when the process is just beginning to make sure that they're happy with that realtor. And if they're not, we can cancel that agreement and go to a different company, find a different agent. But what we want to do is we want to get that referral fee in your pocket. So you want them to be happy with their choice, and just let them know, you don't want them to just fire that realtor and go out on their own and find somebody, because then the money doesn't wind up in your pocket. So that's easy money. As far as your center of influence, if you've got somebody that's working for one of the larger corporations that may get a relocation package through their company, and they come to you and they say, I would love to use you, but I've got this relocation package, and so I'm going to have to go with the realtor that the relocation company recommends. You go, oh wait, we have a full service relocation company here at Hometown Realty, and we can cooperate and work with any of the major relocation companies. All that client has to do is ask for you. Tell them to have their relocation representative contact me, and it's relo@htrsi.com, and I might have to fill out a couple of forms, but I'm happy to do it, and we can make that work for you. You will have to pay a referral fee to that relocation company, but it's a whole lot better than losing the transaction to somebody else just because they think they have to work with whomever the relocation company recommends. They do not. And the relocation, the big relocation companies like Serva and Cardus and Prudential, and there's just lots and lots of them, they usually will want somewhere between 35 and 40% referral fee. But, you know, a little bit of something's better than a whole lot of nothing. So just make sure that you educate your clients on that too. And that is really about relocation in a nutshell. Sure.
Does this go for like anything. So my brother back in Philly, he wants to move down the street.
Yes,
And
exactly.
he just calls me and say, hey.
That's exactly
I'll
right.
get you.
Yeah,
Alright,
you
perfect.
want to educate everybody that you know to come to you for any relocation, any
Any move whatsoever.
real estate.
Yeah.
Any move whatsoever, it doesn't matter where it is.
Mhm.
I'll give you an example, Josh Simpson, do you guys know Josh? He's on Mike's team, works out of the Mechanicsville office. Josh graduated from Hampton, Sydney just a few years ago, and so some of his buddies now are getting to the point where they're able to buy a home. And so he's done a great job of educating them to come to him no matter what. And one of his good buddies just recently got a job in Pittsburgh. And so Josh came to me and he said, I've got a friend, he's secured a good job, he's got his credit and his employment salary history to the point where he can qualify for a mortgage now, and he's ready to buy a home in Pittsburgh. So I found a realtor, and it worked out great. Josh's buddy was happy with the realtor that we found. He bought a home, and it closed last Friday, and I got a call Tuesday, and they verified our address, and the check's in the mail. So as soon as that gets here, Josh will get a couple $1,000 just for making that phone call. So yeah, it's a perfect example of easy money. Any more questions? All right, great. I'm going to turn it over to Katie. Katie is our warranty expert, and home warranties are definitely something that you're going to want to learn a lot about and use, because it'll make you look like a champion to your clients.
Just to give you guys some background, since you don't know me, I'm Katie Allenbaugh Richards. I have been in this business for 23 years. I'm a licensed realtor, licensed insurance agent. I don't do either one. All I do is warranties. So I am pretty well versed in it, and we are bringing you a great new product to Hometown, just out of the chute from HMS. The reason I'm so excited about this is I don't know how much you know about home warranty. Do you know anything about it, or?
Not much.
Okay, so good. I have some virgins here. This is great because I can tell you straight from the get-go how wonderful they are. And just like Lucy, they put money in your pocket because they don't take money out. This is one of the best post-closing liability protectors that you can get, because it covers things that always break after somebody new moves into a house. I can promise you, if you move one family out with 3 children and bring another family in with no children or 6 children, everybody's going to use all the systems and appliances differently. So when they do that, there's a good chance that something that worked forever, nobody had any idea that there might be something wrong, or it might be at the end of its life, will break. HMS has unlimited square footage, which is great. Most of the companies limit to 5,000 square feet, and then you have to call for pricing on anything above 5,000 square feet. It gives you unlimited HVAC systems. Generally speaking, the other warranties, after you hit that 5,000 feet, they will only cover, other companies will cover the HVAC systems no matter how many you have, most of them, at that 5,000 square foot level. But let's face it, if it's 5,000 square feet, it probably only has 2, maybe 3 HVAC units. So when you hit that plateau and you have to get another quote for a higher covered warranty, you've got to add in those other systems. You don't have to do that with HMS. We cover it all. Covers rust, corrosion, washer, dryer, refrigerator. If you look on the back, it kind of gives you a list of what it covers. I'll caution you, you don't have to read the whole contract. Read the exclusions. That will help you. And it's not your job to read the contract. It's your client's job to read the contract. If you're working with a seller, the coverage is free throughout the listing period, so that the seller can use it, and it's paid for at closing. So that's a really nice thing. The only coverage we don't do for that seller is seller heating and air. It's a $60 option, and that's across the board. All warranty companies do not give you free seller heat and air. So if you're worried about that seller heat and air during the listing period, get that option. But it's free to the seller, so it's a service they think you're just offering them when we give it to them anyway through Hometown. So then on the other side, the buyer coverage, it passes to the buyer at closing. The plan is that the seller will pay for it for the buyer. That's the plan, because that's how we make money. We get paid for it. If we're doing a bunch of claims on sellers and we never get paid, well, we're not going to be in business long. So that doesn't work. But on the buyer side, there is no monetary limit. On the seller side, HVAC is a $1,500 limit for cellar heat and air. The rest of it, there is no monetary limit. But the policy has no monetary limits on the buyer side. So if you have a $10,000 unit of some kind, you know, unless it's this, well, let's say HVAC, we're going to replace like for like. So you don't have to worry about that. You need to offer this to all of your clients, buyers and sellers. I would caution you to leave a brochure with your seller so they know what they have. And always make sure that the buyer gets a brochure, even if your seller is offering it, because the other side might not use HMS. Probably they will, but maybe they won't. And then your buyer will at least have a brochure at closing, because no warranty company gives out a contract until the warranty is funded. That's a law. No one owns the warranty until it's funded. So that contract is between the homeowner and the company. So you can't act on behalf of that buyer unless you are the owner of the contract. So it's very important for you to leave these behind so that your clients know what they've got. I'm always available for you to call me for help, to explain something to your customers. If there's a claim situation that gets out of hand or your client is not happy, I'm the person you call. You don't have to call the company. Once you turn it over to me, I'll keep you informed and I'll get it fixed. If it's a straight denial, it's just not a covered item, I know how to explain it to the customer so that they're not mad at anybody. Generally, they don't read this either. I mean, they just never do. So they get mad, and I go, well, if you look at your contract under blah, 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 you'll see. And I'm well versed in chatting with homeowners so that they don't get upset at you. Because the reason you're offering this is to make you look good so that you get more referrals and repeat business. That's the whole point of a home warranty for you. And post-sale liability afterwards, 70% of the real estate claims that are litigated come from misrepresentation, and misrepresentation which leads to something that probably could have been covered by the home warranty. Like they're mad about a stove that didn't work and they're going after the seller, you knew this, and they had a warranty, that wouldn't have happened. So it is, and also it helps your E&O. Every year when they get the E&O bill, errors and omissions that we all have to pay as realtors, one of the questions is how many transactions did you have and how many transactions had home warranties. And the more transactions with home warranties, that percentage goes up, the bigger credit that E&O company is going to give Hometown. So it helps there, it helps you. It's a wonderful product. You can buy it for yourself. You can tell your friends about it. We do cover homes that are not on the market, but this is a real estate contract. It'll be on Instanet at RAR. They keep telling me it's going to be on Instanet at RAR. I sent it 3 weeks ago. But I do have an editable, not edible, editable application, excuse me, that I can send you. So if you give me a card, I can email you a PDF of the product and the app that all you have to do is fill it out and email it. There's an HMS, enroll at HMS, and they send you a confirmation back. So it's very easy. Or you can go to our website, which is on my card too. It is hmsnational.com. Go to Marketopia and sign yourself up, and then you can use all our marketing materials. You can put warranties in. It's real easy. It's just not a hard thing at all. And they have a record of you, so when you say who you are, give your office phone number, you're already in there. So all they have to do is populate your property. Any questions? I mean, I know that I've just gone over the basics, so please feel free to call me and ask the questions. Or email me. I'm always available for you.
One thing that I'd like to interject, I've been doing closing coordination for years, and if you order the warranty online, then you've got a really good paper trail, and the warranty company will automatically send a copy of the paperwork to the closing attorney for the purchaser. And the closing attorney for the purchaser is the person responsible for collecting the monies from the seller or the purchaser, whomever's paying for the warranty, and sending that money in so that the warranty really does go into effect for the purchaser after closing. So that takes that burden off of you to make sure, that the paperwork gets there. So I would highly recommend going and ordering the warranties online, and then you don't have to worry about it, and you also don't have to worry about the day of closing. The paralegal is going, I don't have the warranty, and then your client is sitting there trying to close, and they can't because they don't have all the paperwork that they need.
That's exactly right. The best thing to do is, and it's wonderful because HMS has a system where when you fax in, most other companies have a fax machine and they just pile up and sit there until somebody walks over there and picks them up. They go straight into the computer, and if you fax it, you can even write a note on it, and if there's not a place for the attorney on there, you can write it in and say, I would like a copy to go to, and give the email address just in case. I was going to tell you something else too, gosh. But that's the best way. Go in and go into Marketopia. You can't miss it. I mean, Marketopia, that's a weird word. So go into there and set yourself up, and then that way you always have an account in there. The Hometown's already set up within the system, so you don't have to worry about that. All you do is they'll ask you for a zip code if you go in, and all the people in this zip code all the companies will pop up. So very, very easy to do. And for some reason, if an attorney, I know where I was going with that, if an attorney asks you for a copy of the warranty contract, you can say, well, we don't have a contract yet, it's not funded until you pay for it, but I do have this. Or you can email me and say, would you send a PDF of the HMS contract to this person, and I'll do it, and so he'll have it at closing. How's that?
Good.
I know you retained all of that, right?
Of course.
Did you record it? Well, let's record it. Look at that. Thank you
I do
so
have
much.
one more question.
Okay.
Does HMS have any kind of keep in touch feature?
I have not seen it,
Okay.
but I would say go to the website
Okay.
and go into their marketing,
Mhm.
because they've got all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
So I wish I could say, yes, they have, but no. They
That's
don't.
fine.
They've been around for a long time in this area, and they have not had a rep for many years in Richmond, in Northern Virginia, in Maryland, and Pennsylvania, at the beach. They're big, but just nobody's serviced this area for a long time. The rep at Virginia Beach was doing it. That didn't quite work out, so that's kind of why you don't hear about them much. But they're out there, and they've been around a long time. They were a franchise. They were bought by Cross Country last year, so they are now HMS National, no franchises, one corporate office, and it's pretty exciting. They're a really up-and-coming, growing company, and they do know how to handle claims. I was very impressed when I went to corporate. So thank you very much for your time today. Thank you, Lucy.
Thank you, Katie.